Hi, and welcome to the NEC Society's virtual sessions. We're excited to be here today to talk a little bit about recent advances in neck-related research. There's some really exciting stuff happening. My name is Erin Umberger. I'm a director at the NEC Society, and I lost my daughter, Sarah, to this disease in 2014. So I'm very glad to be here today with Dr. Misty Good. She is a member of the NEC Society's Scientific Advisory Council, and she also leads the NEC Biorepository, among many other things. So I will let you introduce yourself, Misty.
Thank you so much, Erin, for inviting me to speak with you today. So my name is Misty Good, and I'm a neonatologist at Washington University School of Medicine in St. Louis and St. Louis Children's Hospital. I also lead a basic science and translational research team studying necrotizing enterocolitis, which is the devastating disease that affects the intestine of babies. Our lab focuses specifically on the cellular and molecular mechanisms involved in how and why NEC happens. And specifically, we're trying to identify nutritional or immune strategies to protect against NEC and determine how and why they are protecting.
Great. Well, thanks for spending a bit of time today just to give some highlights on the current state of NEC research. So maybe you could tell us a little bit about recent developments in the last few years in NEC-related research and what's exciting and what's coming up.
Sure, no, that's a great question. So one of the major challenges in the field of NEC research is the ability to determine which babies are actually the highest risk for NEC development. We know that the smallest babies are, but that doesn't tell us a lot about the older or bigger babies. So we're committed to identifying all of the high-risk infants, and we've developed the NEC Biorepository, as you mentioned, with support from the NEC Society, which is basically a multi-center biobank of samples from 7 large academic centers that are really committed to looking for a biomarker or a diagnostic test to help us identify NEC sooner, hopefully that we can intervene and prevent all the dreadful outcomes that happen with this devastating disease. So since the NEC Symposium in Ann Arbor in 2018, there have been several research discoveries and several teams that have been making exciting developments that we'll hopefully hear more about soon. There are research teams that are looking at all different aspects of NEC, including why NEC happens, racial disparities that exist in NEC incidence, genetic predisposition to NEC, and how to improve long-term neurodevelopmental outcomes for NEC. And there's also some fantastic new developments on the horizon for the potential to use stem cell therapies and even personalized medicine approaches for treatments or preventative strategies for NEC.
That's a lot of exciting work. Can you tell us a little bit more about the personalized medicine approaches that you talked about?
Sure. It can mean that we can personalize the medicine or treatments that we deliver to a particular baby based on their specific situation or stage of illness. You know, all different opportunities there exist.
And how could you do that work?
That's a great question. So to recreate NEC in the lab, rather than use animals to do this, we've now developed a system to utilize surgically removed tissue to model the baby's gut on a miniaturized scale, actually on a chip, which we call NEC on a chip. And so we can use these personalized chips to be able to test these new therapeutics or basically safe ways to heal a particular baby's gut. So we create chips with each baby's intestinal cells so we can test different medications, different dosages, and we can even add good or bad bacteria back to test the effects of different microbes. Just note that we are very excited about this new capability, but it's certainly not widely available as of yet and is still new and under development.
Wow, that's an amazing concept of being able to examine the situation for each particular baby and target therapies or treatments for each individual baby. That's really exciting. Wow. Well, there's a lot to look forward to in the field. Maybe we could close. I could ask you a little bit about why do you personally do this work, or what does it mean to you? Why do you think this work is meaningful personally to you?
Well, I think NEC is the most devastating disease that exists in the NICU, and it's one of the most terrifying things that we see. And NEC to me personally affects not just me or the families or the babies that I take care of, but it affects all providers in the NICU, because basically a baby can be in the NICU growing along just fine, and then NEC attacks the baby suddenly and they can be having surgery or dying in just a few hours. And I want to help put an end to NEC completely and build a world without NEC with the help from the NEC Society.
Well, thank you so much for the work that you and your team do, and other researchers, thanks to them too. This is such important work and urgent. So thank you so much, Dr. Good. So thank you everyone for listening in on this conversation, and we look forward to seeing you at the NEC Society virtual sessions in May. See you then. Thank you.